Still waiting for it to connect. See if it does anything. Alright, we're good. Just checking to make sure the audio's coming in good. Still waiting for it to connect. Alright, we're good. Okay. Garbage Trucks, Garland, welcome. So, what's going on today? Well, severe weather outbreak. So, let's get into it. Right now, let's start with the basics. We have a tornado watch stretching from Texas all the way up until Nebraska and parts of Colorado. So, and with the main center of this being right here near Wichita, Kansas, is the center part of our concern area. However, because of this line here, that's in front of these cells here, it's actually hindering tornado development, which is good. But we do have one tornado here in Kansas currently that is on the ground. And this is a large and violent tornado. So, let's see. Let's get velocity clip and see what's going on over here. And it's just out of range. Let me grab another radar, get a better look. Raid plays. I will be in the garbage truck starting tomorrow. I was on vacation, so we should have some videos coming out. Actually, by the end of next week, end of this week, excuse me. So, as you can see, this is where this tornado is at. There's even another circulation back here. This is near Grainsfield, Kansas, not too far from the Colorado border. And there is another tornado warnings. There are one's in Colorado and the other one is in Nebraska. Same thing. Looks like we have a large coupling here. The tornado is exurged. And it's moving to the north at 50 miles an hour. This was confirmed by a trained weather spotter that actually saw this one. So, let's go back to the velocity. Oops. Let's go back to reflectivity. So as you can see these cells here, we're going to get down to Texas in a minute. Actually, on this radar here, you can see we do have a tornado warning near Ranger, Texas, west of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. As you can see, the classic hook echo here that's formed. This is actually a pretty good rotation. I don't know if it's confirmed yet. Hold on 1 second. So capable of producing a tornado. A tornado has not been seen, but also baseball-sized hail is with that storm. I am using radar scope. This is radar scope. So the one you see on the main screen here is the updated version, and the older version here is on the smaller screen on the right-hand corner. These are two different ones. They're the same thing. They're both radar scope. One is just a newer, updated version. That's the main screen right here. Where my cursor is. So that's this one here. And then this one is the older version, but it still works together, so I'm able to monitor several locations at the same time. So this tornado warning has gone, it's still up. This one's moving northeast at 25 miles an hour. It's 15 miles west of Trenton, Kansas. And this one is radar indicated. Yeah. There was a funnel cloud absorbed in this area, which was actually 10 minutes ago. That's where the warning was at. So let's fan out. So in addition to this storm up north in Kansas and into Nebraska, excuse me, we also have the cells that are located here in Oklahoma, northwestern Oklahoma. These two cells did have a history of producing tornadoes, so going to keep definitely watching it. Right now we have I don't know what the storm was. So this storm is being observed as producing almost 3-inch size hail. And this one, 1.5 inches, and 60-mile-an-hour winds. So currently going down. Now let's go over here. So some storms had fired in eastern Oklahoma, and they have moved off into Arkansas. That's where this watch is at here. This is a severe thunderstorm watch. And the same with this cluster of cells that some are severe, and this is where the watch is at for this section. So now let's get down to Texas. Now bring it to the main view to take a look at it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this radar and give us a better look. So this tornado warning is observed tornado and also almost 3-inch size hail. Confirmed tornado was 5 miles northwest, Ranger moving northeast at 20 miles an hour. Radar confirmed. So let's take a little peek at velocity. Let's see what we got. Yep, there is definitely a good sized tornado right here. So this is heading towards Strawn, Texas. I think Strawn, I think I'm saying that right. And it's moving, yeah, it's moving due east currently. So what's this highway? There's a major highway here. I'm not sure exactly what it is. So Thorburn, Mingus, Gordon, and this one's moving directly towards you guys in that area. And there's actually, yeah, that's a well-defined rotation too in that hook echo. So yeah, that might become a strong tornado. So this one's tracking basically in a due east by northeast direction. So if it stays on this line, it might move into the Fort Worth area, depending on how strong the cell actually continues. So we're going to continue to watch this cell, and we're also going to, but I'm going to keep it out on the smaller, we're going to watch that cell on this one here. So keep an eye on it as it progresses. Let's go back up to that wedge that's going on up there. So we do have a good handful of tornado warnings here. So we have, this one's radar indicated. So it must have weakened a little bit, but there is something going on here. Hold on, wait a minute. Let's get a better look. Now there's a broad rotation kind of, but this is, problem is this is really far away from this radar. And there's also a little bit of rotation behind it. So here, but it definitely here is what we're watching, but it's moving. They got it moving towards Hamlet. So this might be recycling actually. So this actually is probably going to put down another one here. Reed Timmer is out there. I don't know exactly where he's at, but he's out there chasing today, and a bunch of other storm chasers are out there, especially in Kansas and everything down here, because this is where the high risk was at today. Well, moderate risk, but the high risk for large tornadoes. These two cells, as they move in, are most likely just going to be hail producers. The tornado probability probably isn't going to materialize. That's because of what I've been seeing in front. As you can see, these outflows. However, this one is away from the main cluster, so it actually might continue, and that one looks like it's falling apart a little bit. But I am concerned about this right here, this cell that we are following near Hamlet, Palisade, and Stratton. Tornado was reported at 4:54. This is Pacific time, and it's currently 5:10, so that wasn't that long ago. 4:57. So yeah, this storm the storm was producing a tornado. So really, will you actually be surprised? We do get California tornadoes. They're just not disorganized out here. But the Sacramento area had one time had like 5 tornado warnings for one day. Sun's popping up here. What have we got going on over here? Looks like some new cells are firing down here. So, man, That's right now the main concern cell, in addition to the one that's going on here. Well, generally speaking, yes, this tornado that's heading towards strong. The storm is generally heading towards Dallas, so it's heading in a northeast direction, as you can see on the smaller map here. So along this line is kind of where it's going. So it may pass north of the city, or it may go right through it. That depends on exactly where this line continues to go. But that is still, according to this is roughly about 100 miles away still. So, and according to the warning, I'll give you a precise estimate of where it's going. This warning is still in effect for 32 minutes, and it's moving northeast at 25 miles an hour. So, yeah, it's going to be a couple of hours at that pace before it gets here to the Dallas area. So it may fall apart before it gets there, but we'll have to watch that. So, okay, going back to our main viewer, see what's going on here now. Let's go storm velocity scan. Now there's still, it's getting away from the radar, so it's getting harder to really tell a lot of this cluster. There is still a lot of, like right here. Yeah, that is indicating most likely right here in this area where that's probably a strong tornado is at currently. And we're also looking back here for possible back building. But this warning is still up for 2 minutes, and I'm not seeing nothing. I mean, a spin up could be possible, but that looks like it's just turning into a wind threat at the moment. So let's fan out, make sure, see if we got anything else going on. So let's zoom in on this storm. This is still radar indicated. Okay, what we got? Now there's definitely a good little rotation right here. Let's see if we can get an estimate. 58, 32, 69. Okay, so that indicates that there is definitely probably going to be a tornado in this vicinity in the next few minutes, or already occurring. So this is heading towards Hoxie, not sure how to pronounce that. And this is in, that is in Nebraska, I believe. Not central Kansas, excuse me. So it's still currently moving. This one's moving, how fast is this one moving? They're clocking it at 30 miles an hour and ping pong size hail. So that is producing a lot. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of background. So let's get an idea what we got here. Giant hail. Okay. Large hail. So yeah, unless you want your windshield busted out, stay away from the storm. So that's where we're getting right here. We got a bunch of large hail and giant hail falling. So that, in addition to this tornado, which is in, generally speaking, is right behind it. So it's in this, yeah. I would not want to be anywhere in front of this. I would want to be somewhere over here. Away from that storm. Special weather statements. Let's see what else we got going on here. Alright. We're going to go ahead and go back to the Texas storm now. The size of that hail, we'll come back to it in a second, but let's get a better look at this tornado. The hail for this one is almost 3 inches in diameter, so it's baseball-sized hail, and confirmed tornado is on the ground still. Yeah, this is heading right into that town. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a debris ball signature right here. So something's getting thrown in the air. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's somebody's house or something that's getting hit, but that is definitely not a good not a good indicator. Alright, tornado warning has been canceled. It's moved out of the area. Okay, so we'll see if the new warning pops up. It's still pretty strong rotation, so I wouldn't be surprised if another warning comes up. Excuse me. That is a lot of rain falling. Rain and hail. Let's see. Let's get into the hydrometer and check this out. And the coordinate is 2-inch size hail, giant hail, large hail. So the hail core is north of the rotation at the moment. And this is heading towards Strong, Texas. So there's different types of wordage. Like, for example, exurbed. So I'm just use it as an example. I can go back to the bottom warning. A confirmed tornado was on, as it says confirm here. So that means weather spot is confirmed. That means somebody on the ground saw it and reported it. It was on the ground. So when it says Doppler radar indicated, that just means there's enough velocity, which is this. There's enough spin to cause a spin up, but there hasn't been a tornado confirmed yet on the ground. Now, when Doppler radar exurbs a debris, which comes from the correlation, and this is usually done by meteorologists when they see it, then they'll confirm that a tornado is on the ground through that actual notice. So that's the difference in the wording in their warnings. Looks like something back here might try to spin up again back here. What we got going on over there? Yeah, there might be some. Okay, we might have another tornado forming behind this. It's definitely outflow. Because you can see, the clear indicator is this one is hooked around and this one is starting to hook around. So we might be seeing a handoff going on. This one's weakening and this one's forming. Excuse me. And this is, looks like maybe a merger might be going on here between these two cells. Yeah. Definitely look at this lone guy out here. See what happens with that one. So this whole cluster is moving northeast towards Dayton. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And this one is merging. It's moving towards, generally speaking, the Fort Worth area. But that's going to be probably an hour or two before it gets to you guys. So let's go back to these warnings up here and see what we got going on. Okay, we definitely got a good hook echo deforming, 2-inch size hail, radar indicated. So no one has seen this tornado yet. It says it's capable of producing. So let's see what we got in the velocity. Yep. So obviously there's the spin going in. So obviously, generally speaking, that area is probably where that tornado is going to develop, and this is where this warning just got issued for. And projected path towards Lewis. So yeah, this is definitely going to, as you can see, once you start seeing this on the reflectivity, it's usually meaning that rain's being pulled around, and that's where the classic hook echo for a supercell. This is a classic supercell right here. So that one's forming. What about this one? So let's go back and take ourselves a little peek at this one. nothing too... I don't see nothing obvious. We got two separate warnings though. Radar indicated this is up for 20 minutes. About another 24 minutes. Alright, ping pong size hail. This one's producing an inch size hail in addition to the tornado. So velocity just detects the wind in the air. That's all, the wind, and it just tells you what direction it's going. And the clue in velocity is obviously the green's going towards the radar, red's going away from the radar. So you get, obviously when these storms are rotating, you get a clue where something's at. And most warnings are based upon that rotation until somebody actually sees it touch down. Then, or if Doppler picks up debris flying in the air. So that's the two differences, I guess. And that's just it. I mean, there's two versions of reflectivity. You have storm velocity reflectivity, which is when these are fast moving storms. This helps to put together the information a little bit better. As you can see, there is two separate rotations right here. So as you can see, this rotation is not well defined. It's, I mean, you're getting okay rotation, but it's not. These tornadoes are not going to be big, at least right now, if there is even a tornado yet. Let's get up here. So this one, what's the nearest radar? Okay, so we have the nearest radar. So that's moving into a kind of a dead zone, it looks like. So we can see the reflectivity, but it's really hard to see on the velocity. So yeah, I'm not gonna be able to tell what this storm is doing. I mean, but it is producing large hail. And we're also seeing, again, these severe thunderstorms over here near Kearney, Nebraska. I think Grand Island is right here. Lexington, these cluster cells are moving north. Same thing with this one that's over. So somebody reported, public reported, 1.5 inch hail. This one was near Lebanon. We have a tornado possible indicator on this severe thunderstorm warning with a 1.25 inch size hail. This cell's still producing too. And that's not okay. We do have a new tornado warning that just went up for that in Dallas. Also, we do have a wind threat here in Georgia and Alabama. So let's go back in and get ourselves give this one a little more special attention. So, tornado is observed. Confirmed tornado. Weather spotters confirmed it yet again. So, actually, where it said it was at? It's confirmed near Palo Alto Mountain State Park, or 10 miles northeast of Ranger, moving east at 30 miles an hour, damaging tornado and tennis ball size hail. Yeah, this is okay. Interstate 20. That's what this is. Interstate 20 as well. So in addition to 2.5 inch size hail, that's the tennis ball. It is also, there's also a tornado in there. So let's see, where are we? Yeah, it's going right over this town. How big is that town? So yeah, this town is most likely getting hit by a tornado right now. Let's see. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. No debris ball. That's good. So maybe it's not on the ground at the moment. Most likely this twister's probably jumping up and down, but I am watching this hook forming back here because I don't think this area is out of the woods yet. And then we have a couple of, it looks like a cell forming right next to it. So this is the one we are focused on at the moment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to this one, and I'm going to go have it go monitor this one. Because this one also has my attention as well. So yeah, so there is definitely a tornado on the ground here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the velocity so you can see it. And I'm going to move it. So the good news is there's nothing organized behind it yet, but that rotation there is still pretty, that's pretty solid rotation. 20, 60s. So yeah, it's not a large, it's a large area rotation, but it's maybe not on the fully on the ground yet, which is good if it's going over this town. Excuse me. So yeah, and I'm gonna do the same thing for this cell. I'm gonna get a good look at it. So same thing here. I mean, this is an older grid, so but you can still see the rotations around here. So it's putting it towards Lewis pretty good, and that's in Kansas. Kansas. Yeah. And then this one here, obviously, I'm kind of wondering if this one's, because there's two cells here. There's the one cell that's actually producing the tornado here, and there's this one that's right behind it, and now this is forming here. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen here with this setup, but I am watching here as well, because see if that starts to spin as well, and there is a little bit of rotation there, but obviously this is where our biggest concern is at. New warning was issued just right above it for Bridgeport. So Mingus, Gordon, that's next on the list. Looks like from this possible tornado here, or observed tornado. It's about 5 miles away, so we should see what happens watching this one. I'm gonna fan out just a little bit. So let me ping the radar. Where's the radar at? So the radar is to the west, so this gives you an idea. So the radar is seeing wrapping here as well. Yeah, it's kind of obvious. So not enough to issue a warning, I guess, but this is obviously well defined. Garland from Dallas. Let's see. Garland is, according to this, about 12 miles. Roughly, and this is just radar. Still tracking still 2 tornadoes, 3 tornado warnings as well up in Nebraska. Well, one just went away. There's still 2 of them though. And they're both currently radar indicated. Okay. So right now we're monitoring these 2. Okay, looks like Lewis is getting away from it. What we got? Still radar indicated. Ping pong and as well size hail as well as the tornado. Okay, doing good. There, I mean, get your racket. Looks like it's heading towards Garfield, Kansas in the general area. It looks like it's gonna miss Lewis, Kansas. That's good. At least it's missing town. So what we got going on here now? So broad rotation. There's definitely, it's probably zipping up and down is what it's doing. So yeah, there is. Let's see, nothing on correlation. Still watching to see if this is gonna wrap or not, or if this is gonna choke it out. Oh, we got some peak winds now. What do we got? Excuse me. Drinking soda doing this is not the best idea. So that wind speed is increasing now than what it was from the last scan. So definitely probably gonna have a touchdown now. What we got going on here still? So right here in this general area next to Lewis, there might also still be another tornado as well. So yeah, it puts it right here. And that's right where the hook echo's at. That's the interstate, some major roadway there too, and that's, well, let's get back to this. Yeah, so these are what we're tracking right now, and let's get a tab on what we got going on here. So right now we have 3 tornado warnings that are near this Kansas radar. Edwards, Chase and Hayes, Nebraska, and we have Colorado, Cheyenne, Kansas, Dunning, Nebraska, Yuma, Colorado, and then we have obviously this tornado warning that is currently here in Texas that we're watching, and we have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings and a couple of flash flood warnings here in Texas. So, still watching this cell here, and it looks like it might starting to fall apart. This one, on the other hand, looks like it's just intensifying. By the way, for the next radar loop to get a better idea, though, and it just looped on me. Yeah, definitely. Winds are definitely increasing on both of these actually. So we might get a second tornado behind it. See if a warning pops up for that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fan up a little bit so you can see. So obviously we have the tornado near Gordon, and then we also have this tornado near, or a possible tornado that's going to be forming behind it. So as of right now, it has been downgraded to a capable of producing a tornado. Excuse me. So yeah. Let's see. I think this cell's falling apart. Well, it looks like it's falling apart, which is good. So this warning might get allowed to expire. So it remains in effect. The tornado was confirmed by this storm in Kansas. Media storm chaser, confirmed tornado. So yeah, we did have a spin up here, which was pretty obvious. Okay. Yeah. Now this is an interesting development. Watching this now. Look at that. Yes, I do. So what do we get from this report? 2.5 inch size hail, and that came from a ham radio operator. Okay, yep, definitely got a new tornado developing right here. It's starting to hook. So I wouldn't be surprised if that becomes warned here in the next few seconds. Definitely a lot of lightning around this rotation. Yeah. Yeah. Now those are a lot of wind rotation, so definitely probably gonna have a tornado touching down near Gordon, and then looks like another tornado might be developing here and right behind it. Let's check on our Kansas storm. Yeah, Kansas storm doesn't look too. It's more nothing real tight. It's just widespread circulation. So we'll see if what they want to do with that one. Okay, we have a new tornado warning that popped up. Hold on a second. This is up in Nebraska. So I'm gonna keep this on the main viewer. Let's go ahead and fan out on our. Take a look at, get ourselves a little peek at this one. So there's 2 tornado warnings. Both capable of producing tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage. And then there's also this warning that came up. Yeah, that one in Texas near Gordon is definitely hooking hard now. Capable of producing a tornado. Okay. Near northwest of St. Francis. Northeast 25 miles. So there's. So this cell right here is like they're. I guess they would call them QCL type spin ups, I guess. Because I don't see nothing obvious in the rotation, at least in the velocity, because when you look at it here, it's not really, it's just a defined line. So I'm pretty sure that's a warning for no point. This one, on the other hand, definitely is still going pretty good. This warning's up for 4 more minutes. Still capable of producing a tornado. Alright, so let's go up. Our new tornado warning was just issued for our Kansas storm. Let's get in on it. Confirmed dangerous tornado. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Okay, that is a large tornado then. So Garfield is under threat of a large tornado. Large tornado near Garfield, moving towards Garfield, Kansas right now. So PDS warning is in effect for Garfield. Let's check this one out. Tornado was observed. It's been upgraded to an observed tornado. It was confirmed just north Mingus, or 5 miles northwest of Gordon, moving east 30 miles an hour. And we're also seeing we're probably gonna still watching that other circulation back here. Right here, look at it. It's starting to hook around. So we now got, going back to our Kansas storm. So we have a large tornado on the ground in Kansas, and we're also tracking our other tornado near Gordon, and potentially a second tornado right on its heels. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go give a little bit more attention to our storm. We're going to leave this on to watch this one for us, and we're going to go, let's go look at our Garfield storm. Alright, let's storm velocity so we can get a better peek. There it is. Yep. There's definitely a large tornado here. May not be on the ground anymore, but definitely was there though. So that's where we are now. Right now we're getting velocities roughly 55 inbound, 60 outbound. So it's basically, this tornado is right here in this area. And putting this general direction is, yeah. So there's brown rotation. If you're in Garfield, I definitely would take cover. Star Trek of Sal Carson, what's up? Just saw the chat, buddy. Going back to, that is definitely a good rotation right there, and it's heading directly for Santos, Texas. Santos, Texas is on the list to get, and that's still another broad rotation there, but no warning on that yet. So we're focusing on the Garfield storm. Garfield storm is definitely has a confirmed tornado. It's a PDS warning. That's why it's, if you can see, it's a pulsing polygon instead of just a regular polygon. If that allowed me. In addition to that, hail of 1.7, 1 inch and almost 2 inches size hail. Confirmed dangerous tornado. Yeah. Large, extremely dangerous tornadoes on the ground, according to that warning. Still haven't seen nothing else. We still got a couple other warnings up here that are, warnings expired, okay, but we still got 2 more along the Nebraska-Colorado border, looks like. Okay, we have an update. What we got? Still observed. 7:35, yeah, so this was 10 minutes ago. So what we got over here? Still very, that tornado near Gordon is probably pretty large. Let me fan down and look at it real quick. The older model doesn't ping and everything else, so we might get another tornado warning here. Hays, Kansas up here. Barely see it on this cell. In fact, hold on, I'm gonna move my other radar real quick, see if I can get a better peek at it. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm not seeing nothing. Yeah. Okay, new tornado warning near Hays Center. That's Nebraska. It's right along the Nebraska-Kansas border. New tornado warning. Radar indicated. So what we got going on here? So she's kind of falling apart. So this storm, it looks like it's going to probably fall apart, or at least recycle. So let's go back to our Texas storm, and we'll swap. Give me a second, I'm just swapping them out. Keep an eye on this cell, but what we're going to do is we're going to keep an eye on that cell as well. So, right now it's not bad. You got lightning in your area? Let's see. Let's collapse this into a single view frame. Yeah, getting some strikes in the vicinity of you, near Briscoe and McCrinney. The storm is still continuing east towards Fort Worth. This is still the same warning. Alright. Looks like it's starting to lose some steam a little bit. Still got some rotation over near between Gordon and Santos, but I don't think the tornado is on the ground anymore. So that's a good thing. And our storm near Garfield is also not looking too much impressive. Might be trying to hook back around right here. But we'll have to see if it does anything. That cell might do something too, but I don't think so. Well, the problem is right now is these cells that are located here are hindering the overall area. So, in this line I just drew. So these cells are actually limiting the effects from these cells. So that's a good thing. Bad thing if you're storm chasing. It's a good thing if you live in the neighborhood, because then obviously you're not having to deal with tornadoes. Alright. So let's do a check on the... Let's do a check. So right now we have currently 5 tornado warnings that are still up. 2 are observed. The one near Kent, the one that were both cells that we're watching. Okay, that tornado warning just got revamped near Garfield. So let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it real quick. A confirmed tornado was located near Garfield, so there's still a tornado there. I'm training weather spotters. So there's still a tornado near Garfield. So, and basically 3 of these tornado warnings, including the one that we're watching in Kansas, are up for 9 more minutes, and the one we're watching here in Texas on the main viewer is still up for another 24 minutes. And then the one in Nebraska is up for 39 minutes, which is this cell near Hayes Center, Nebraska. We still got other warnings that we got a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings out of this outbreak that we got going on here. And we still got tornado possible icons as well. And these are nothing to sneeze at either. These storms are producing 60-mile-an-hour winds, hail a minimum as of an inch or greater. Well, this one here that we're watching right now in Texas is part of a more cluster of cells. So let's bring it down and give you a better look at it. We're gonna click into the Dallas-Fort Worth system. So as you can see, it's part of a more organized cell. But right now, I don't think Dallas has anything to worry about at the moment, because it seems like everything here is moving away. You do got some cells that are firing here, and that's a lot of dry lightning strikes. That's all within the last few minutes, I think. Yeah, so there's basically one concern is you got there's probably a low precipitation supercell somewhere around here, because that doesn't match at all. Yeah, there's definitely a storm out there, but I don't see nothing that's coming directly towards Dallas yet. This cell that is moving right now, this cell in particular that we are watching, it doesn't pose an immediate threat to Dallas. Now, Fort Worth might get it, and I think this is going to go toward Louisville more so that way. But I don't know if the tornado will actually, the storm is going to persist or not. It's one of those ones that, because now you can see this merger has happened more so. So I don't know if it's beyond my former expertise. Still a lot of rotation in it. Because the good part is we do have 2 radars looking at it. But it still has a long way to go. I mean, it could, so it's a kind of a watch and wait. One of the storms on Friday night formed near Springfield. So let's actually recap real quick while these storms are not conducting their various problems. So we have a total of I think there's 30 people that had died in the last couple days of these outbreaks. One storm that did a lot of damage formed here and traveled straight through Kentucky and actually hit London and let's see if we can find it. Somerset. These 2 towns sustained significant damage on Friday night after midnight when a large tornado came through. And also a large tornado did hit the suburb area of St. Louis as well. So there's been a lot of casualties. And Carson, 11 PLVs, yep, definitely going to keep them coming. We're going to see how that, be back at that tomorrow actually. Let's go look at these storms real quick while we're checking them out. So we have 4 minutes on this one, 4 minutes on that one. This one is more new, radar indicated. Yeah, we do said that the back to the fun, stop posting. Right. Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, it was fun going out there and on the adventure and everything, but, you know, Life is life. We gotta get back to it. You know, it's like there's this thing called government that wants its taxes. You know, imagine if you actually didn't have to work for taxes. So what we got going on now? Is it still okay? We definitely have another good spot. So let's see if we can get a better look at it from here. So it's right in between the two radars. There's still, I think it's hitting a mountain. It's bouncing off a mountain right here or something. Yeah, there's definitely Santos area. There's definitely 20. You got the red. Nice. So this tornado warning expires in 3 minutes, but the tornado might be tearing through Garfield right now. At least looking at it from this one. Just rotation above it, but yeah. Okay, we have a new tornado warning was just issued. This came out of the Fort Worth office. It's moving southeast now at 15 miles an hour, so it's drifting to the southeast. So this storm is shifting direction. Now it's starting to go this way. At least that's what they're indicating, so don't know. We'll have to see what happens here. The cells back there is pretty severe. So let's see. Tornado watches are still up. We do have a new tornado warning for that cell. Let's bring it up real quick. Tornado is observed. The tornado was located very near to Garfield, so yeah, we are seeing that tornado on radar. Broadcast media. So, and these warnings should be expiring here in the next minute, so we'll come back to them. As you can see, we still got a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings too up here in Kansas under the severe thunderstorm watch area, as well as over here in Arkansas as well. Still nothing going on here in Birmingham, Alabama, or Georgia. So, yeah, Garland, I would be watching this storm for a while because even now that it's shifting a little directional here, this supercell is still coming in general now to the Fort Worth area and the Dallas area. So it is currently it's moving pretty slow though, about 15 miles an hour. So let's see. So at that rate, if it's moving at, so you got probably 3 hours maybe before this, unless somehow it magically speeds up. MRAPs and wrapper rails are very easy to operate. They're just button switches. Because in addition to the tornadic threat, the storm is producing almost 3-inch size hail. So that is tennis ball size. So that's about the size of my fist. Carson, yes, I have. We actually have a mini MRAP ex LA County truck that I drove when I was working in front load for a little bit, and it's easy. I mean, it's just same thing as the wrapper rails that we have. It's just 3 buttons. So okay, we got a new severe thunderstorm warning, and we're gonna definitely now start watching this whole section here. And this is just the way this is starting to bow up. So you can see the rotation is still there. It's right on top of Santo. Hopefully it doesn't hit 10 because we don't want to see that. What we got going up here now? Zoom out. This warning continues. Yeah, let's confirm. They're not these. The only good part is these storms aren't moving that fast. These tornadoes are only moving about 25 to 30 miles an hour, or even slower. So that is a good thing. Let's see if the meso discussions have came out yet about this. No, we have 3 out. Threat for tornadoes, very large hail, and damaging winds will continue across parts of northwest Oklahoma, western Kansas, western Nebraska, southwestern Nebraska. Over the next few hours, multiple strong tornadoes are possible. Resolution radar from Vince Air Force Base shows a supercell northwest addition to super. Okay. So we're just barely getting into this apparently up there. Couple strong expected maintained across northwest Oklahoma with EF2 tornadoes and large hail. So that's where this meso discussion has been issued, and that's for. Oh, wait a minute. That's for this right here. So they're watching this cell here. It's not really impressive. So this cell here, and they're also watching, obviously, our one that's near, that just passed Garfield. On the other one. And also these ones as well that are still good. So back to our Texas, because again, that's what we're focused at. Garland, yeah, I say about maybe 2 to 3 hours, give or take, depending on exactly what happens. Obviously, you're here, and the storm is they're moving indirectly in this general direction. So you're probably going to see off and on lightning, rain for right now, but then the main cell should arrive probably in the next, like I said, 2.5 to 3 hours, unless it speeds up or somehow. The good news is that it is weakening, though. The hail has dropped to 1.5 inches instead of the 3 inch that we saw earlier in this part of the cell, and the tornado warning has been downgraded to just a radar indicated. So, and it's moving slow, 15 miles an hour. So, okay, we just got an update. Let's see what we got. Okay, correction, observed tornado. 2-inch size hail, so she did intensify a little bit. Confirmed tornado near Santo. And moving east at 30 miles an hour, so she sped up a little bit. So this is the problem that we're seeing. This is a perfect example of what we're seeing right now. Is it's in between the radar scans, but now so it's sped up, actually doubled its speed. It's on the ground now, and also 2-inch size hail. This was confirmed by weather spotters. So, but you can see it's still a long distance away. Yeah, there's some broad rotation. So yeah, this is a tornado producing storm, so it's just going to keep, it's probably going to be, if I could talk here, it's probably going to keep producing tornadoes for the next several hours, at least. I mean, look at this. This is all part of the main cell now that merger is done. It's a good sized supercell. And let's look at the other point. So, we're going to get a look at the echo tops here. So this is 10 minutes old, but it gives you an example. So 60,000 feet right now, where that echo top is out. So yeah, it's a mature cell. It's not dying anytime soon. But it still has a long way to travel before it gets to you guys. And then, yeah, there's also this other cell here near that's just past Bridgeport that's issuing. What do we got here? It's not bad. It's producing 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-size hail, which is typical for California type super severe thunderstorms. So I'm not concerned about that. However, they do have a precipitation alert. Let's see what this is about. Heavy rain and flash flooding is possible. Rapidly growing thunderstorms. A bulge in the dry line may result in heavy rainfall. So yeah, it's along the dry line, which doesn't surprise me at all. Ooh, has a discussion. While we wait, let's see what we got. Nope. Continues isolated risk for severe hail damaging wind across central Arkansas. Okay. What's this little cell doing? Same thing, quarter size hail in an inch. So, right now that's the cell we're watching, obviously, because it's going towards your area. Let's check on our Garfield cell, see what they got going on here. Still the same warning. Anything else going up here? We're down to our 2 tornado warnings. 3 tornado. So until we have 3 tornadoes warning, this cell here is still, I mean, it's still together. This older model, it makes it harder to read, but it's good for just like monitoring like we're doing. However, this cell is good. So let's do a check on what we got. So yeah, we got 3 tornado warnings, and they're all still 22 minutes. Exurb and exurb. That's for the 2 cells we're looking at now. It's obviously the one near Santos, and the one that's now going towards, what is that, Larned? Yeah, so it's this cell here, and as well as the cell that we're watching here. Get off that. I mean, there's still, as you can see, there's still decent rotation with this one, so yeah, it's a lot broader now, but I'm telling you, it's hitting a mountain or something, right? Is there a mountain out here somewhere? Because that radar is bouncing off something here. That's what's distorting the view. There's definitely some type of, definitely good size rotation going on there. So turn discussions off so I don't have to see them. Close that. And the outer boundary of the cell's already almost approaching Fort Worth. So it's the outer boundary is only about, at least on the radar, is about 18 miles. Looks like some cells are starting to fire behind it as well, near Newcastle. Okay, we have a new tornado warning, and this extended for a long stretch. Confirmed tornado warning near Santos, moving east to 25 miles an hour, damaging tornado. Confirmed with weather spotters. Up to 2 inches in diameter hail. So this is now moving away, way faster than what we thought. Okay. So yeah, this is now heading into the Fort Worth, Dallas area. So we'll see how long the storm lasts, but yeah, it's definitely going into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And yeah. Okay, what else we got up here? Is this storm still doing anything? Capable and golf ball size hail. Okay. So, what do we got? We have our other tornado warning that's still up as well. Radar indicated. 2-inch in diameter hail. Okay. Alright. Looks like. Yeah. Well. Alright, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this. But yeah, if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I would watch the storm that's approaching. If you're in central Kansas, I'd also watch the one near Lorne if you live in those areas. In Nebraska, too, if you're near Hayes Center in those cells. This is going to keep going for the next several hours and into overnight. As well as tomorrow, we're looking at a major outbreak probably occurring within basically. Let's go. Actually, I'll just bring it up for you guys to see. So tomorrow's outlook is. Oh, let me move me around. So tomorrow's outlook, as you can see, is a more wider spread, as basically eastern Oklahoma, central and eastern Oklahoma, eastern Kansas, most of western and central Missouri, and northwest Arkansas is going to see an enhanced risk as of right now, with large tornadoes possible in that area, as you can see here in the shaded polygon. So, alright guys, I am Trashman Matt, and